Hello everyone. Welcome to the next class of SST. That is, our next subject is social and political life, and the first chapter is understanding diversity. But before I come to the chapter, let me explain you what is social and politics mean. Now, man is a social animal. Now, what does that mean? That man is a social animal? No, it's not a social animal. Actually, it has a habit of living in a group. In earlier times also, people started their life in a group. Like one can do farming, one can fetch water, one can do many activities if you're living in a group. Now suppose if you want to live without your parents, it would be very hard to live. So people started their life in a group. So that makes a society. Now suppose one society is living in a good way. Now what does that politics mean? Now, let me give you one example. If you come to a circle and if you speak in India that I don't want believe in God and what is this, what nonsense is this, there will be no circumstances, there would be nothing. But if you speak in such other countries, it would be very hard. There are such norms that the countries don't allow to speak such type of languages or to speak such types of slangs in public. Now, there are some rules, and that form norms of rules and functioning is known as politics. And social and political life means if you are living in a group, there would be a politics to make you understand that what are the rules and what are the norms to live in a society or in a group. Now, let's come to the chapter what is understanding diversity. As India is a land of diversity, and when I say India is a land of diversity means that in India people speak many languages. Its language is different. In north side people speak some other language. In south the language is different, and every part of India is very different to each other. As I have given an example of languages. We have various types of food. The celebration of festival is very different. We celebrate Gangor. The Orisian people celebrate Onam. The North people who are in the Punjab, they celebrate Baisakhi. So there are many festivals that we celebrate in one country. Now, and our religion is also very different. The religion which are practiced in India are very different from each other. We are the only one country which have 8 at most religion that are being practiced over here, like Buddhism, Jainism, Islam, Christianity and Sikh. Now how do we explain diversity? What was the how our India is a land of diversities? How it became a land of diversities? Because every state, if we see our state with as we compare with other states, it is very different from each other. So what are the effects that make our state different from each other is traveling, their geographical condition and their historical condition. Now the first, traveling. As we travel, we exchange many things. We exchange goods, we exchange our food, culture, music and everything. So I from Rajasthan settle in somewhere in West Bengal, I have to speak their language and I will share my food items, that what I am cooking in Rajasthan, what are the clothes that I am wearing, what are the festivals that I am celebrating. And if I live in West Bengal, I have to learn their language, I have to cook their food if I want to sustain my life, and I have to celebrate their festival also. So that is the exchange of items, the exchange of culture. Now geographical condition also depends. How geographical condition, like suppose if you are living in a very cold area, so you need to wear woolen clothes, you need to cover all yourself with the woolen clothes, you have to cover your body. But if you are living near a seashore or near the sea coastal areas, what types of clothes do you need? You need loose cotton clothes that can survive you, because if you wear woolen clothes in the seashore area, so you cannot survive because it would be very warm and it would be very humidity, so you cannot wear such types of clothes. So geographical condition also depends. Now what is historical changes? Now as you can see also, what language we are speaking English. Now what is the why we are speaking in English? Our mother tongue is always Hindi. As you know that British ruled over India for many years. So that is why they introduce a new language, that is English, to us. That's why our historical conditions also change our diversities. So we have India. India is a land of diversities. And what are the how do we explain diversity? Through traveling, through geographical condition, and through historical changes. Now the next topic is understanding diversity. Now what does that mean, understanding diversity? Now let's come to the next topic that you can understand it better, is the Ladakh and Kerala. Now why I am giving the name Ladakh and Kerala? Because they are in the different regions of India. The one is in the north and the other one is in the south. Let me start with the Ladakh. Now I am talking about the Ladakh, let me tell you that where actually Ladakh is. As you can see, it is in the northeastern side of India. Now as it is in the northeastern side, what are these lines? These lines are actually the trading route of the European countries. People used to purchase goods from the Europe and they go through Ladakh to China. So Ladakh was an important point for the trading. Now what about the geographical condition? As Ladakh is a deserted mountains. Now as it is a deserted mountains, the rainfall is very less and the mountains are almost covered with snow throughout the year. Now what type of food they are eating? As there is no rainfall, so there is no agriculture, there is no farming. So how people are surviving their life? They are actually dependent on animals. Now animals give them milk products and they give them meat to eat so they can survive their life. And in Ladakh they have a special kind of sheep which is used for its fur, and this fur is used in making of pashmina shawls. These pashmina shawls are made from these sheep and they give to the Kashmiri traders. So this is their occupation. Now this was about their geographical condition, that Ladakh is a deserted mountains, its hills and its mountains are almost covered with snow throughout the year. For food they are dependent on animals, they are getting meat and milk products from these animals, and for their occupation they have special kind of sheep which is used for making pashmina shawls. So these are their geographical condition. Now how historical conditions are changing their diversities, as Ladakh was a point for Tibet, for the Tibet route. Now in Tibet, mostly people practice Buddhism. So Ladakh was the main point that these European traders come through Ladakh and they go through the Tibet. So Ladakh was the point. From there the culture exchanges, and these Tibet follow Buddhism. So in Ladakh, Buddhism also started around 1000 years ago, and these exchange of culture happens in Ladakh. Over there, around 400 years, they introduced with the new culture, that is Islam. So in Ladakh now you have Islam and Buddhism that is practiced over there. And over there is a special thing about it, that is their national epic, that is Kesar Saga. The Kesar Saga is a national epic and the tradition. So it is not like that if I am Hindu or if I am Islam and you are Buddhism, so you will be able to speak that Kesar Saga. No, it's not there. All over the people who are living in Ladakh are supposed to celebrate this Kesar Saga as the national epic. So this was about Ladakh, that Ladakh was a major point for the trading route of European countries. These geographical conditions also changed its life and its culture, and the historical changes, that how these religion came over Ladakh and how they changed the culture of Ladakh, that Buddhism also introduced, afterwards the Islam also introduced to Ladakh. So this was about the changes. Now the next is Kerala. Now as we talk about Kerala, let me tell you that where actually Kerala is. Kerala is in the southwest corner of India, and as you can see that sea is at the one side and hills on the other side of Kerala. So their geographical condition is also very diverse. As you can see that at one side we have sea and the other side we have hills. Now over there they have a special kind of farming of spices. Spices are very famous in Kerala, like cloves, that is long, black pepper, that is kali mirch, cardamom like elaichi, and cinnamon like dalchini, that are very famous. So spices are very famous of Kerala, and they have they have very aromatic fragrance of these spices. So over there the farming is very different, as it is and it is near the seashore. The main occupation of the people is also fishing. So fishing and farming is the main occupation of Kerala. Now the traders that came to Kerala was the Jewish and Arab traders, and the first traders were these two. Now when they came to India, when the Arab and Jewish traders came to India over 2000 years ago, Saint Thomas also came to India. And when Jesus Christ was alive, so at that time Saint Thomas came to India and they spread Christianity, the spiritual, and how these when these saints come to these religious teachers come to the one place, they spread their religion over there. So that is why in Kerala many religion forms are also followed. So when Saint Thomas came to India, it spread the Christianity, and that time our first church was also built. And as Portuguese discovered the first sea route, so the Portuguese also spread their religion. So in Kerala we have different types of religion are also practiced over there. Now there is a very interesting point about Kerala is, in Kerala the fishing nets which are used are very similar that are used in China. And they have a special kind of pot, they have a special kind of cutlery that is used as China mitti. So China mitti is also came with the name of the Chinese. The China also named it as China. So the cutlery and the fishing nets are as similar to the China. So as you can see that Ladakh, Kerala are very diverse. They are in the same land, but still they are very diverse. As Ladakh is in the north side, it's almost covered with snow, and the life of the people is very different, their occupation is very different, and how they survive their life, what was their history. The European countries, the European traders come to the Ladakh, and how the religion was being followed, like Buddhism, Islam was followed in Ladakh, and how Kerala is very different as their geographical conditions also depend. It is near the seashore, and one side it have hills, so it has a great source of farming, and spices are being grown in Kerala, and fishing is very popular over there because as it is near the sea. So these are different type of culture and religion, and are practiced all over the country. So this was about our only one example I have given, that is Ladakh and Kerala. There are many other states that shows a different and diverse culture. So what was in the purpose of the video is to understand that, to make you understand that what is the diversity of India, and what was the other culture give to our India, as British also ruled over India for many years. So how the life of the people are dependent on the historical, geographical, and their traveling pattern. So this was all in the video. I want to explain you further, but in the next class. So let me end you, and thank you so much for listening, and I hope you understand it better. Thank you.